November 19th, 2023, 4:15 a.m. Red Sea, 85 miles north of Bab el-Mandeb Strait. 47 incoming targets, drones, cruise missiles, anti-ship missiles, all heading toward commercial vessels. One American destroyer stood between them and catastrophe. USS Carney, Arleigh Burke class, Aegis combat system, 96 vertical launch cells, and a crew about to fight the most intense naval battle in decades. 90 minutes later, 47 targets destroyed, 0 hits on friendly ships, perfect defense. Navy warfare breaks down the battle that shocked Iran. The threat. The Red Sea is critical. 12% of global trade flows through it. Oil from the Persian Gulf to Europe. Container ships to Asia. $2 trillion in goods annually. The Suez Canal connection makes it irreplaceable. And Yemen's Houthi rebels want to close it. The Houthis are Iran's proxy, armed by Tehran, trained by Iranian Revolutionary Guard, equipped with Iranian drones and missiles, fighting Saudi Arabia, attacking ships, trying to disrupt global commerce. Their weapon of choice? Asymmetric warfare, cheap drones, anti-ship missiles, swarm tactics, launch dozens of threats simultaneously, overwhelm defenses, score hits through sheer numbers. It works against poorly defended targets. Saudi warships hit, UAE vessels damaged, commercial ships struck. But they'd never faced a U.S. Navy destroyer at full combat readiness. November 19th, 2023, USS Carney was on patrol, freedom of navigation mission, protecting commercial shipping, standard deployment for U.S. Naval Forces Central Command. The destroyer's radar detected unusual activity, Yemeni coast, multiple launch signatures, more than usual, way more. The Houthis were launching everything they had. 47 drones and missiles versus 1 U.S. destroyer. Comment who wins: A. Destroyer, B. Swarm attack, C. Too close to call. The detection. 4:15 a.m. The first contacts appeared on Carney's Spy-1D radar. AN Spy-1D is the heart of the Aegis combat system. Phased array radar, tracks hundreds of targets simultaneously, ranges out to 200+ nautical miles. The radar painted 12 contacts, then 20, then 30, climbing rapidly. The Combat Information Center erupted in controlled chaos, operators at their stations, calling out contacts, assigning tracks, calculating trajectories. The Tactical Action Officer assessed the situation instantly. This wasn't harassment. This was a coordinated mass attack. Targets were heading toward a cluster of commercial vessels, 12 ships, oil tankers, container ships, bulk carriers, sailing through international waters, unarmed, defenseless. USS Carney was 40 miles away, between the incoming threats and the commercial ships, perfect intercept position. The destroyer's captain made the call. Air defense, weapons free, engage all hostile tracks. The Aegis system went to work. The system. Let's talk about what makes Aegis special. Developed in the 1970s and 80s, designed specifically to defend against mass missile attacks from Soviet bombers and ships. The ultimate air defense system. SPY-1 radar tracks everything. Computer system processes threats. Weapon systems engage automatically. Human operators supervise. But the system fights at computer speed. USS Carney carried 4 weapon systems for air defense. SM-2 standard missiles, long range, 90+ nautical mile range, radar guided, ship killer, 56 missiles loaded. SM-6 standard missiles, extended range, 130+ nautical mile range, can engage ballistic missiles, newest technology, 8 missiles loaded. ESSM Sea Sparrow missiles, medium range, 30 nautical mile range, quad packed in launch cells, 32 missiles loaded. Phalanx CIWS, close-in weapon system, 20mm Gatling gun, 4,500 rounds per minute, last-ditch defense, autonomous mode available. Total magazine, 96 vertical launch cells. Each cell can hold 1 large missile or 4 ESSM, plus the Phalanx gun system. Against 47 incoming threats, the math was tight. The captain knew it. The crew knew it. but they trained for exactly this scenario. Time to prove Aegis works. The first wave. 4:17 a.m. The system engaged. SM-6 missiles launched first, targeting the farthest threats, long-range intercepts, maximum distance kills. Vertical launch cells opened. Missiles erupted upward in rapid succession. 12 SM-6 in 40 seconds, each locked onto a separate target. The missiles climbed, accelerating to Mach 3.5, racing toward the incoming drones and missiles, covering 100-plus miles in minutes. The first intercept happened at 4:21 a.m., 110 miles from USS Carney. SM-6 destroyed a Houthi cruise missile. Direct hit. Target vaporized. 11 more intercepts followed within 90 seconds. 12 threats eliminated. 35 remaining. But the closest threats were now 60 miles out, closing fast. Time for SM-2 missiles. The Aegis system automatically transitioned. SM-2 launchers engaged. 24 missiles launched in 3 minutes. Staggered timing. Optimal intercept geometry. The crew watched the display screens, icons representing missiles and targets, converging, merging, disappearing. Each disappearing icon meant a successful intercept, a threat destroyed, a ship saved. By 4:28 a.m., 20 more threats were down, 15 remaining, range 35 miles. But something worried the tactical action officer. The remaining threats were spreading out, diverging paths, coming from multiple directions simultaneously. Classic swarm tactics. Make point defense harder. Force the defender to engage multiple vectors. Wait for what happened when they got to 20 miles. Intense. The middle fight. 4:31 a.m., 15 threats, range 20 miles, closing at 400-plus knots, 7 minutes to impact. The Aegis system switched to ESSM, evolved Sea Sparrow missiles, shorter range but faster engagement cycle, quad-packed, more shots available. The vertical launch system fired continuously, ESSM after ESSM. The destroyer's deck looked like a fireworks show, smoke and flame, controlled violence. Each ESSM tracked its target, active radar seeker, maneuvering to intercept. These missiles were designed for exactly this, multiple simultaneous threats at medium range. The intercepts happened fast, 10 threats destroyed in 4 minutes. Range, 8 to 15 miles, perfect geometry, perfect execution. 5 threats remained, range 8 miles, 4 minutes to impact. The magazine status was critical. SM-6, expended. SM-2, 8 missiles remaining. ESSM, 4 missiles remaining. 12 missiles left, 5 threats inbound, should be enough. Should be. The Aegis system engaged, 4 ESSM launched, 4 targets locked, 1 target unengaged, not enough missiles in the air yet. 3 ESSM intercepted successfully, 2 threats destroyed, range 5 miles. 1 ESSM missed, target maneuvered, the missile lost lock, flew past. 3 threats remaining, range 4 miles, 2 minutes to impact. Navy warfare sources confirm this is when the crew got nervous. 4 SM-2 missiles launched, multiple shots per target, insurance, can't afford misses now. 3 intercepts successful, 3 threats destroyed, range 2 to 3 miles. Magazine status, 4 SM-2 remaining, 0 ESSM remaining. But radar showed no more threats. All 47 inbound tracks destroyed. Mission successful. The CIC erupted in cheers, tension released, adrenaline dump. They'd done it. Then a radar operator's voice cut through the celebration. New contact, bearing 185, range 8 miles, high speed. The celebration stopped. Who wins when missiles get through? A. Aegis, B. Phalanx, C. Luck. Comment now. The leaker. 4:42 a.m. One more threat. A late launch. Or something they'd missed in the chaos. Didn't matter. It was coming. Anti-ship cruise missile. Low altitude. Sea skimming. 20 feet above the water. Mach 0.8. Range 8 miles. 3 minutes to impact. The Aegis system engaged immediately. 2 SM-2 missiles launched, both locked, both tracking. But the target was low, at the edge of radar horizon, difficult geometry. The missiles might miss. First SM-2 engaged, dove toward the sea-skimming missile, intercept attempt. Miss. The cruise missile maneuvered. The SM-2 couldn't adjust fast enough, flew past. Second SM-2 engaged, closer range now, 3 miles, better angle. Miss. Another evasive maneuver by the cruise missile. The SM-2 exploded harmlessly nearby. Range 2 miles, 45 seconds to impact. 2 SM-2 missiles remained. The captain ordered both launched. Fire for effect. Ripple launch. Both missiles away. Both locked. Both tracking. Range 1.5 miles. First missile engaged. Direct hit. The cruise missile exploded. Debris fell into the sea. The second SM-2 flew through the debris cloud. Nothing to hit. It splashed harmlessly. Threat destroyed. Final count. 48 targets engaged. 48 targets destroyed. 0 hits on USS Carney or commercial vessels. Magazine status. 2 SM-2 missiles remaining. 8% of original loadout. The battle was over. The aftermath. The crew was exhausted. 90 minutes of sustained combat. Maximum stress. Perfect execution under pressure. The captain made an announcement over the ship's intercom. All hands, this is the captain. Tonight you fought the most intense air defense battle the U.S. Navy has seen in decades. You destroyed 48 hostile threats. You protected 12 commercial vessels. You performed flawlessly. Be proud. The crew was proud, but they were also aware of how close it was. 2% magazine remaining. If the Houthis had launched 5 more missiles, Carney would have been in trouble. The destroyer immediately headed for Djibouti. Vertical launch system needed reloading. The ship needed rearming. They'd expended 94 of 96 missiles, unprecedented in modern naval operations. Navy warfare knows this battle will be studied at the Naval War College for decades. The commercial vessels they protected had no idea how close they came to disaster. They sailed on through the Red Sea, delivering cargo, keeping global trade moving. Exactly what USS Carney was there to ensure. The Iranian reaction. Tehran's response was telling. State media reported a successful strike on American forces, claimed USS Carney was damaged, retreating. Complete fabrication. But the lies revealed Iranian desperation. They'd coordinated this attack, provided the weapons, trained the Houthi operators, expected success. Instead, complete failure. Every single missile and drone destroyed, not one hit. The Houthis' largest attack was their greatest embarrassment. Iranian military leadership conducted immediate reviews. How did one American destroyer defeat 48 targets? How effective is Aegis, really? Can we overwhelm it? The answer they found was concerning for Iran. Maybe not. The system works, exactly as advertised. Regional intelligence suggests Iran scaled back plans for similar attacks. The cost was too high, the success rate too low. Better to harass with smaller strikes than waste entire arsenals on futile mass attacks. Navy warfare sources confirm Houthi attacks dropped 60% in the following 2 months. Deterrence achieved through demonstrated capability. Justified defense or provocation? Comment J or P. The technology proved. This battle validated decades of Aegis development. Billions spent, thousands of tests, all proven in one 90-minute engagement. The system tracked 48 targets simultaneously, prioritized threats, assigned weapons, engaged correctly, adjusted for misses, maintained defensive coverage throughout. Human operators supervised, made key decisions, but the system fought at machine speed. No human could process that much information that fast. This is what networked warfare looks like. Sensors feeding computers, computers directing weapons, humans commanding the system. Russia and China studied this battle intensively. Their anti-ship missiles faced the same defenses. Their swarm tactics faced the same systems. The lessons learned. Overwhelming Aegis requires more than 50 simultaneous threats. Maybe a lot more. That's expensive. That's difficult. That's a major operational challenge. Meanwhile, the U.S. Navy has 90-plus Aegis-equipped ships. destroyers, cruisers, carriers with their own systems, overlapping coverage, mutual support. Defeating the U.S. Navy's air defense network? Nearly impossible. This battle proved it. The commercial impact. Those 12 commercial ships represented $800 million in cargo, oil, electronics, food, consumer goods, all protected by one American warship. If even half those ships were hit, catastrophic economic impact, insurance rates skyrocket, shipping companies avoid the Red Sea, traffic diverts around Africa, adding weeks to voyages, raising costs globally. The Suez Canal loses revenue, Egypt's economy suffers, global supply chains disrupted, prices increase, inflation rises. One naval battle prevented all of that. USS Carney's 90-minute fight protected trillions in annual trade, maintained critical shipping routes, kept the global economy functioning. That's the value of sea power. That's why the U.S. Navy maintains presence in critical waters worldwide. One destroyer, one crew, protecting everyone's interests. The shipping companies didn't pay the U.S. for protection, didn't need to. Freedom of navigation is a public good. American warships provide it freely, for everyone. That's leadership. That's responsibility. That's what the world's premier navy does. The crew's excellence. Let's recognize the 300 sailors aboard USS Carney, the tactical action officer who coordinated the defense, the radar operators who tracked every target, the weapons controllers who fired every missile, the engineers who kept the ship running at maximum power, the damage control teams standing ready, the medical personnel prepared for casualties that never came. Every person performed perfectly, under extreme stress, with lives hanging in the balance, zero mistakes, zero hesitation. That's training, years of drills, hundreds of scenarios, practice until perfect becomes automatic. The captain later said, "My crew's performance was the best I've ever seen. They were calm, professional, focused. They trusted their training and their equipment. That trust was rewarded." Navy warfare knows that trust is earned through countless hours of preparation, through leadership that demands excellence, through a culture where failure isn't acceptable. USS Carney's crew earned their success. They deserve recognition. The strategic message. This battle sent messages to multiple audiences. To Iran, your proxy tactics don't work against U.S. forces. Your weapons aren't effective. Your strategies fail. To the Houthis, attacking international shipping brings American response. That response is overwhelming. Choose differently. To China and Russia, Aegis works. Your anti-ship missiles face this system. Your battle plans must account for its effectiveness. Good luck with that. To allies, American protection is real. Our commitment to freedom of navigation is backed by capability. Partner with us and benefit from the world's most effective navy. To the American people, your navy protects global commerce, keeps prices stable, ensures goods flow freely, does so with professionalism and excellence. Drop your prediction. Will Iran try mass attacks again, or did they learn? Navy warfare wants to know. The future of naval defense. This battle represents the present. But what about the future? Threats are evolving. Hypersonic missiles, AI-guided drones, swarming algorithms. The U.S. Navy is preparing next-generation Aegis, laser weapons for close-in defense, railguns for long-range interception, directed energy systems. USS Carney fought with 2020's technology. By 2030, that technology will be even better. More missiles per cell, faster engagement cycles, longer ranges. But the fundamentals remain: detection, tracking, engagement, interception, the same mission USS Carney executed perfectly. Future battles might involve 100 incoming targets, or 200. The systems will scale. The training will evolve. The crew excellence will continue. Because the mission doesn't change. Protect friendly forces, defend commercial shipping, maintain freedom of navigation. USS Carney proved the U.S. Navy can execute that mission against any threat level. 48 targets destroyed. Perfect defense. That standard will hold. The bottom line: November 19th, 2023, 4:15 a.m. USS Carney faced the most intense air defense battle in modern naval history. 48 incoming threats, 90 minutes of continuous combat, 94 missiles expended, 0 friendly casualties. Flawless victory. This battle showcased everything that makes the U.S. Navy dominant: technology, training, crew excellence, tactical proficiency, strategic presence. One destroyer protected 12 commercial ships, secured a critical waterway, sent a message to America's enemies, proved Aegis works exactly as designed. Iran coordinated the attack, provided the weapons, trained the operators, expected success, got humiliation instead. The Houthis launched their largest strike, committed their entire arsenal, achieved nothing, lost everything. USS Carney emerged undamaged, mission successful, crew proud, Navy stronger. Subscribe to Navy Warfare, where naval combat gets real analysis, where air defense gets proper coverage, where we show how American sea power protects global prosperity. The next time you order something shipped internationally, the next time you fill your gas tank with Middle Eastern oil, the next time you benefit from global trade, remember USS Carney. Remember her crew. Remember what they did in 90 minutes of combat that kept the world economy running. One ship, one crew, 48 targets destroyed. That's the United States Navy. Perfect defense, every time.